Well, Prester
You know?
John, they're saying, was actually the king of Ethiopia.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, modern Ethiopia is not ancient Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying?
The
Ancient
borders changed.
Ethiopia
Ancient
is
Ethiopia was
in
many
part
countries.
exactly what would be many that extend to
East
West
Africa.
Africa.
East Africa was the base of
Northwest Africa was a part of ancient Ethiopia.
Northwest
You
is
know
where
what I'm
Morocco's
saying?
at. That's
The
Mauritania.
All of that, all
at some point, the entire continent.
because the Romans made it to a portion of West Africa at a point, and they were calling it Ethiopia. You know what I mean? So, or was it the Greek? One of them, Romans or Greeks. It was one of them. But ancient Ethiopia is not modern Ethiopia. Modern Ethiopia is probably a portion of ancient Ethiopia.
Look. I don't recall where this map is from. C.R. Robert, right? An accurate map of Africa drawn from C.R. Robert. That's what it says, right? I used to have this map, but either way, you see it says Negro land here.
Yeah.
But it says Lower Ethiopia and Upper Ethiopia. You see, and Abyssinia is right here. You see, so and
Yeah.
then also the Atlantic Ocean was called at that time
The Ethiopian Ocean.
the Ethiopian Ocean.
Yeah.
So when we're talking, you're exactly right. When we're speaking about Ethiopia, it is not speaking, just like we clarified earlier about Sudan, it's not talking about the modern geographical encasing and location of modern southern and Sudan and southern Sudan or modern day borders of Ethiopia. You know, we're talking about the continent as a whole. But I just want to get back to this point that, and I affirm what you brothers have stated, but it only lends further credence to my original point, which is that up until the Bacon's Rebellion, there weren't a people who existed as a people considered white. There were people with white statuses, but there were never a people who were considered white people. However, hold on.
I think
However,
detail, I think emphasis need to
hold on.
go
Let me
on
finish my
to
point. Hold on.
go
Let me
ahead.
finish
All
my
right, go
point.
ahead.
Hold on. But the opposite exists for black people. There has, since the earliest of times, been a people regarded and identified as a black people. Granted, we're speaking English and we're using black to describe that thing from light wheatish to dark brownish to almost black, like we discussed in the definitions from the Arabic sources earlier. So I just want to make that point, but continue.
Yeah, no, I just was saying I think we need to quantify it with the concept of whiteness as applied to pale skin tone doesn't come about until 1680s. That's what I wanted to